So he's really the person who kind of is in charge of the entire process. So Hikuichi goes to Mr. Oe and says, I need a dozen of this knife, I need a dozen of that knife, and then he decides and determines who the best craftsman is for that type of steel, for that type of blade. He arranges with the handle-making craftsman and the handle-making shop to get the handles, and then and he arranges with the sharpening shop, and then all of those things come together in his shop, where this is what he does. He also does the engraving, so if you purchase a knife today, he's the one who will be engraving it for you. All of the Hikuichi knives that are already engraved inside are all his work. And in fact, if you would like to own one of these knives that you've seen be assembled in front of your eyes, you can also, you guys can buy those and he can engrave them. So they heat up the steel so that it will burn itself into the wood of the handle. And that serves to heat up resin that's in the wood, and also then as it cools, the steel expands a little bit, and so it basically glues itself into the handle. He also is in charge of making sure that all of the work of the previous craftsman is up to the standard. So he checks the knives when they come into his shop to make sure there aren't any cracks, there aren't any imperfections in the forging, there's no problems with sharpening, grinding. So he's checking to make sure it's straight. These knives are very traditional style and are single beveled. So these are right-handed blades, so he's checking to make sure that that blade lines up correctly with that handle, because the handle only goes one direction. It's meant for someone to be held in the right hand. So he needs to make sure that everything lines up correctly. That one's a little too hot. So he makes this look incredibly easy. When I was in Japan in 2010, I worked with all these gentlemen and made a knife and finished it in his shop, and I hit myself in the hand way more times than I did. So we'll do this again at about 11:15 or so if you guys want to watch again, or somebody else,